and we can have another world record. We are the sheep shearing champions, world champions. We're the rugby world champions.
You're going to love to watch that team play, and when they come to Durban, they will do the business.
Referee was awful, but he wasn't the reason we lost. But my goodness, he certainly helped. I'm back, baby. And so are the Boks. It is midweek. I'm over the morning. And it's Boks by 10, baby. I've restored my faith in the team. I saw the squad, the match 23. And I'm telling you, we're going to go there to play. We've come to win. We're going to rekindle the joys of 2018. And we are going to beat the All Blacks.
Mate, I love your optimism. I love your optimism. We haven't seen the All Blacks team just yet. I'm hoping that's not going to temper your pick. I don't think it will, mate. I think you've decided that you are going to go Boks by 10, as always. And I hope and pray that you are right.
Mate, you don't, because you're not even wearing your Boks by 10 shirt.
Mate.
Huh?
Mate.
Okay, and you got your little phone on, and your little
Boks by 1.
Hey, you got your little phone on, your speedo at the bottom. Hey,
Mate.
all black, bro.
I see some of the comments. The folks weren't happy that you were wearing the black Boks by 10, mate. I
Yeah.
thought you were maybe sitting on the fence a bit.
I never sit on the fence when it comes to the Springboks. Passionate about them.
You did sit on the fence on one Springbok too. I think it was to America by accident.
I did, yeah. 25 stitches up me nord. When I fell off 3 a.m. It was a shocking experience. Joe Fanika was with me back in the day, before he was Jungle Joe.
Before you could levitate.
Before he was Jungle Joe, he was just Big Joe. And then he broke his ankle in the match against the USA. And we both had to fly back in very uncomfortable positions on the aeroplane. So
you feel that sitting face down.
basically for the next 6 weeks.
Wow.
And that Kontiki session they had after that, Joost was still in charge of it. And he ran that Kontiki like a sergeant major. And he kept on punishing me for not sitting down. I kept on downing drinks. And back then, the doctor had said to me as well, listen, yeah, you've got to try and eat certain things so you don't have to go to the toilet a lot, because obviously there's 25 stitches there. Well, I imagine after kind of I came down, that's where I had to go. I will remember Houston for many things. Many things. That fence being probably the most primary of all those things. But I'm confident about the Boks, and got one of the most. We spoke about it a week ago. Nathan Yonker, father of Nathan Yonker, who sent to us the story of his young son, his young 8-year-old, who's fought cancer. He's in remission. He's hoping to hit the bell in January 2026. And if you missed that show, Benton spoke about the trauma the family went through, what big Bok fans they are. 2023 Rugby World Cup final, they watched from hospital. Malcolm Mark sent a wonderful message, a video to young Nate, telling him, bugger, you'll make it through. Just keep on fighting. The Boks are with you. He got a Bok signed jersey as well. This kid is just boka, boka, boka. The family became New Zealand citizens this week, so it was a big day, but never, ever will they be All Black fans. They are Bok fans. And the great thing is that young Nathan is going to be at the game on Saturday. They live in Wellington. His dad's taken there. He's going to be watching his hero Malcolm Marx and all the other Springboks play. So from our side, a massive shout out to a proud young Springbok and a young man who shows it's only a game. Life is a lot bigger. The way he has fought over the last 2 years will be an inspiration to every Springbok who goes out there and plays on Saturday. Adi Savia is also his hero for when he played for the Wellington Lions, but I think the kid just loves green, okay? And he's all Boks. We are going to, his dad sent us a 3-minute video that we're going to put on SA Rugby Magazine's Facebook page for you to see his journey from playing a rugby game and then the next week finding out that he was ill and just what he went through. And it's, if you don't shed a tear, well, then you are the kind of person that puts a thumbs down on do you love polar bears? Kind of like panda bears, kind of thing. Like it's so emotive. It's so inspiring, though. I spoke to Mark Alexander in the week. He said, send the dad my number, and I'll make sure that he comes down to the hotel with the young lad and he meets the people and he meets the folks and that he sees what the Springboks are about. So to Mark Alexander, once again,
Wow.
just the amazing stuff he does as president of SA Rugby. Always gets back to us. Anything he can do to promote the brand. He's been in Sydney, Wellington, Auckland, Sanzar, World Rugby. He did say, I spoke to him yesterday, he was like, there's such an uptake with the offer for the New Zealand Maoris, the Maori All Blacks, to come to South Africa next year. He spoke to the iconic Brian Williams, who toured here in 1970 and 1976 as an honorary white. And he is so leading the response of why they want to be here. So he said it's been so beautifully received in New Zealand. The Boks have been so well received. But you asked me why I'm so confident about Boks by 10. When you got a lighty like Nathan in the crowd with his dad. And this was his dream, was to make it to Saturday, to go out with his dad and watch the Boks play. Then there is no way the Boks can lose. And I know that Artie will be shedding a tear for him as well, so he may even help us. That last little intercept pass.
Oh, mate, it's a
So
story.
it is a great story, and it's the power of the Springboks, the power of what Rassie Erasmus, Jacques Nienaber, their management team, Sia Khaleesi and the players have done to get the Boks back to the top of the pile in World Rugby, to reignite that rivalry with the All Blacks. Because pre-Rassie arriving in 2018, there wasn't a rivalry. It was an historical kind of fantasy for most of us, because the All Blacks were pumping us, winning 8 in a row. There was a generation of New Zealand supporters that had heard about the Bok All Black rivalry. That has come alive in the last 2018, last 7 years.
Yep.
2 World Cup, 1 in the opening round, 1 in the final, 1 all there on neutral ground. They've both beaten each other. They've won in South Africa. We've won over there. It really is a wonderful rivalry. And as we saw in Auckland, 7 points at the end, always just one score between the two teams. So, yeah, a big shout out to the Yonker family. Wow, we're so proud of you, bud. And keep on fighting. And here's to a Bok victory on Saturday and watching your heroes play.
Beautiful, mate.
I sent you the video this morning.
Yeah.
Did you shed a tear?
It was gooseflesh stuff. Gooseflesh. To see somebody's kid going through that, and then just the whole backstory. Like, it starts with a picture of the kid in his last, Nathan, his last rugby match before this whole saga. And there's a slide in there. It talks about, you can't beat somebody who never gives up, or something along those lines. Just very, very powerful. Young kid taken on some big obstacles and won, and it's a fabulous story.
All right. Well, we're going to go from one kind of inspiration to another kind of inspiration.
Okay.
Avant. Our partners, and you know about the Founders 15, led by John Smith, a lot of World Cup winning Springboks, part of the co-founders of Avant. We've been running a competition. It's One's on Me from Smitty and the boys. Justin Marshall, the All Black Connection, he's a co-founder. George Gregan was a co-founder. But they've partnered with us and said, if you go out and you purchase online or you purchase in-store and you use the Keo Zels code, you can also go into the competition to spend a night with Butch James in Durban on the eve of the Pumas test against the Springboks. And there's a catch to that, because I don't know if you'll make the test the next day, okay?
Exactly.
A night with Butchie in Durban would just be
Hangover 3.
be sensation, and Butchie's also one of the co-founders. But their prediction for this week, they gave it to Marshy. And you're going to hear from the lad now, a giant of an All Black, a man who was part of the 96 historic series win in South Africa, a bloke who was up there with Joost and Gregan. Those 3 scrum halves were the best that played for a decade. Former All Black captain, loves South Africa, loves being here, and he's got a wonderful, wonderful prediction.
Hi everybody, Justin Marshall here, former All Black halfback and also a co-founder of Avant. Now look, we had an epic test match at the weekend at Eden Park. The All Blacks taking on the Springboks. What a tense, dramatic game. And it went right down to the wire with the All Blacks coming up with some massive defensive plays to hold the Springboks off. Another big test match in Wellington this weekend when the two teams go toe-to-toe one more time. My prediction for this match is that the All Blacks are going to score a try by line-out driving maul.
Now we say to Mashi, the guys at Avant had said, they're feeling charitable. The women have made it to a World Cup quarterfinal. It's a double header. It's the men against the men, and it's the ladies against the ladies. They are saying, if any All Black, Black Fern, woman or male Springbok scores a try from a line-out maul, they will match your order. That is a gimme, bud. That is a gimme. They will match your order, and the Black Ferns are playing the women box. There's definitely going to be a line-up maul drive try there. And when the All Blacks play the Springboks, guaranteed from one of the sides, there will be a line-up maul try. What Marshy's also not convinced about is us.
I tell you, that is a huge prediction from Keo. The Springboks by 10. No doubt I expect a reaction after what happened to them at Eden Park. But 10 points between these two sides, the greatest rivalry, when all of these test matches are so heavily contested, it's a big call.
And then we always say, Boks by 10. So Marshy, Boks by 10 is a big call, but we always back the boys to be Boks by 10. Follow our Facebook page, WhatsApp channels, and Butchie will also give you a shout out and a call out as to why you should be in the draw using the Keo Zels hashtag or the Keo Zels code, your QR code, to go to Durban on the 27th of September and watch the boys play against Los Pumas. And I'm telling you, that's going to be a cracker game.
That's going to be a cracker, mate.
Because your favorite team, Ricky, at the moment are the Pumas.
Yeah, I love the Pumas. They come from my homeland, so close to Paraguay, so close to the Atlantic Ocean, to the Pacific Ocean. All the oceans are so close by to us, I don't know how that helps us with the rugby, but it seems we play some great rugby against some of the best teams in the world, and the Los Pumas are coming back into some great form. Marcus Kramer made, I think, 31 tackles in the last game. This guy just loves to tackle people, man. You're going to love to watch that team play, and when they come to Durban, they will do the business. So keep your eyes open, okay? Enjoy the games.
Well, thanks for that, Rick. On Flip did ask for your return. And Mike Sharman called me. He said, what happened to Sharman's Corner on Monday?
It's a mystery.
So I said, well, look, it may have been a bit embarrassing if the clips we were going to use to show what represents the Mike Sharman Corner. For those, we've got to keep on reminding you, a legend of Kes, Mike Sharman. There's a corner dedicated to him on the A field for all the tries that he scored when he played for the Red Army's first 50. Or did he? Or did he? So that is when I go back to what represents Sharman's Corner. Harry Wilson, mate. Can you believe it? 4 times he said, no, we're not taking the draw. We're going for the win. And they did. The way the Australians won that test match.
Yeah.
And I think there's an affinity with Sharman and with the Wallabies, because we gave the Sharman Corner to James O'Connor when he kind of remembered the maternal grandparents of South African and he hooked that kick in Cape Town. But this one was for the incredible effort of the Wallabies just to back themselves to win a fantastic test match in Townsville. So that is your Sharman Corner. So no more calls today, Sharmy. It's in there. Looking at Wellington Zels, why will the Boks win? And then you can tell me why you think they won't win.
Mate, the Boks are going to win this test if you think they are, because they've got an electric backline, a young backline full of potential, waiting to explode. I think the combination of Kobus Reinach, Sasha, Gaza at 12, Kane and Moody, Ethan Hooker, and then 2 other blokes you may have heard of, Cheslin Colby and Apuleli Fassi. I mean, that is a sharp-looking backline. And if you feed them anything that's remotely like front football, they are going to cause some serious damage. So you've got to hope the Boks bounce back in terms of their fundamentals this week. And if they lay the platform and give those guys quality possession, it's going to be a fun day, and the Boks could potentially record a historical victory in New Zealand.
Yes, it sounds like you're reading off a dummy sheet there because you're not convinced, mate.
I'm not convinced, mate. I'm not convinced. I've looked at the history. The Boks had never won in Wellington before Rassie came on board. And that's where the whole revival started, right? That's where the whole belief started. This is what Rassie does. He wins matches, even in New Zealand. And they beat them in Wellington. Then they drew the following time they played them in Wellington. And suddenly we go into this Wellington test with people thinking like it's a little bit of a home ground for the Springboks. But the long-term history is the Boks have won 1 in 8 tests in Wellington against the All Blacks. So I think we've got a 12% win rate there. And we're coming off another loss, massive question marks, multiple changes in the team in some key positions. And if that Bok tight 5, which has Wilco Lowe sitting on the bench for most of the game, doesn't dominate, it could potentially be quite a long day at the office. And I think we could see a couple of lesser experienced players, some of the youngsters I've mentioned, almost exposed a little bit for their lack of experience. So I'm backing the boys. I want them to go and win it. I know for a fact that given the right opportunity, Sasha, Gaza, Kanan Moody, Ethan Hooker I think they're long-term great prospects to be real stars at the next World Cup. But we haven't built up to this point to put them in the best place to win it. It's almost like a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to last week. Now these guys are in the mix after very limited games. I'm not sure if this combination has ever played rugby together. And so I think the history counts in the All Blacks' favour.
If you say it's a knee-jerk reaction, are you not of the belief that this Bok team primarily was picked before they left South Africa and that he was always going to play 2 teams, win or lose at Eden Park? Because there seems to be a hell of a lot of conviction in him announcing the team on Monday morning very early. And as in true Rassie fashion, he said Thursday's their day off. Last time he had to wait till 7 in the evening to have a drink because of the media conference. And he really destroyed his own day, disrupted everything, and he just went back to base. He said the team knew on Sunday night who was playing, so get the speculation out the way. 10, 12, 13, that is a glimpse into the future. If not 27, then definitely beyond 27. Sasha's 23. Kanan Moody's only 22. Jeez, and I mean, the guy's been around, eh? And guys at 27, the youngest ever to win back-to-back World Cups. I mean, there's a lot of experience there.
Around them.
Even though they've never played as a unit. And then Ethan Hooker. I mean, we've been raving about him. Well, you've been raving about him for about 2 years. I kind of been raving about him because you started telling me, watch this kid. He's going to be special. He is a machine. There's something quite magnificent about what he could become. We know what Chesson has done, and Fussy has been the form fullback in the last 2 years in South Africa. So individually, they couldn't have really picked a more exciting back division with the comfort of the experience of Reinach at 9 and Williams to come off the bench, and Andre the Giant to settle a few things, either at flank or at 12. And Marnie to enjoy the festivities at the end when the Boks are running away with it, baby. I said Boks by 10 no more.
Oh.
Just keep it to 10. Let's show the respect between the two nations. But yeah, it is exciting. And it's and I think there's a belief just through the rawness and the fearlessness of youth.
Mm.
And I think that they can actually do it.
Mm.
They can win. And this is with as much conviction. And I'll tell you why, Zels.
Tell me.
I'll tell you why.
Give it to me straight.
Let me tell you.
Wanneer een flip bel vir my, sê vir my lees en sê vir Zels, hy's nou baie negatief. Dus sê Tannie, sê vir die Zels mannetjie. En sê van daar, van Argentinië, Paraguay, Ricky, hulle moet vir Rassie ondersteun. Hulle moet vir Pieter Stef ondersteun. Die boodskap van ons flip is, Rassie, ons is lief vir jou. Bokke, ons is lief vir jou. Manne, vat hierdie All Blacks, want dit is nie Eden Park nie. Dit is nie Auckland nie, dit is Wellington. En toe sê ons flip vir my, Keo, sê van die manne, Buland, hulle verloor nie in Wellington nie, en Rassie se bokke, hulle verloor ook nie in Wellington nie.
Mate, I'm so glad you mentioned Buland. I think we must just tip our hats to them. Absolutely phenomenal revival there in Wellington. I know we're going to get back to the Boks now, but what they've done there is just amazing. It's so good for the South African landscape, rugby landscape, and classy bunch of guys, done some great things, playing some great rugby. It's lovely to see them back on the radar, mate.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, Dobbo, I love you, Dobbo, but how could you go do that to Buland and pick a URC team to beat them, eh? Poor Harvey said, like, Of all the draws to get, they get Province in the last game, and the URC guys are using it. But 8-7, they were up at halftime, playing some good rugby. Great hit out for the Stormers before their season.
Yep.
Dion Fourie, wow, a mensch. 100 matches for Province, 100 matches for the Stormers, and he captained the Boks in a winning World Cup final in the last 3 minutes at the age of 38. I mean, how has that Oaks career just turned into a movie?
No,
It's kind of, it's Hollywood stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, cracker from Buland. I'm glad they made the semifinals. They made the semifinals of the SA Cup, semifinals of the Currie Cup. And to see that Wellington Stadium packed between 6,000 and 10,000 people every time. And we go back to that opening game when they played for 8 minutes after the 80th minute to beat the Cheetahs. And I think that was Harvey saying to France Steyn, thanks for firing me. I think France let him go.
Can you imagine how good Buland would be if Harvey's wasn't Harvey's, but he was Fullies? I mean, yes, they'd be untouchable.
Imagine how good the Stormers would be if they just looked at Buland and not the Bulls.
Yeah, so that's like, I mean, I've digressed now to Buland, but back to Wellington in New Zealand and the Boks. You spoke about me being negative about Rassie. I get criticized for being too positive about Rassie. I've always backed Rassie. I think he's a phenomenal coach, obviously, with 2 World Cup winners' medals. But I think there are some truisms about rugby that, I don't know how many of them can be broken. And I think cohesion is a massive thing in a team sport. Historically, it shows that when a team has cohesion, they are significantly more efficient and more dangerous than when they don't. And this Bok team doesn't have cohesion. As much as they've got quality players, it is very much a Nintendo selection. It's the team that all the Bok fans would have chosen, all the most exciting players, but they have never played together. And I'm not sure how you overcome that, especially playing the All Blacks in New Zealand in the space of 1 week.
How you overcome that, bud, is with the inspiration of Nathan Yonker and Donnie Gerber. 2 extremes. The legend is in New Zealand with the Braai Army. Woo. He's been there for the last week. He's been up to Lake Taupo.
There you go,
where
mate.
they had a function, and he caught a big fish, mate. Donnie Gerber played in the 81 series, the flower bomb test, the infamous flower bomb test that went on for about 155 minutes before Alan Newson kicked that late pen of 25-22. Ray Mort, 3 tries, hat-trick. And I was reminded by Mike Greenway this week, author of The Fireside Bok, a.k.a. Gavin Ridge, and Bok to Bok, the 2 books that he's given away. He's given away 3 copies of each book to loyal fans of our show. You just got to go into the comments and tell him your favorite Bok story, and we'll send him your addresses, and he will send the books to you. He'll courier them to you. So thanks for that, Mike. But here's a picture of the 81 Boks sleeping in the change room on the eve of that 3rd test because of security fears at Eden Park. And they went out and took that game to the last
Incredible,
kick.
mate.
Wow. With someone flying a plane, dropping flower bombs, and they would go into the crowd. It's just crazy to think of what they went through. And they were a refereeing decision away from an historic drawn series or potentially even winning that series. It was the Ray Mort. It was the Ray Mort kind of like hat-trick. Nas Border was on song. Just a great test match. And the most unlikely, Alan Newson, who was hit and miss, he kicked the winning penalty. But we talk about preparation for the modern day player. I mean, it's 5 pastors, feet up, and he played for 40 minutes. These oaks were dossing in a change room on the eve of that game.
Wow.
On mattresses, and they went out and put up a performance like that.
Mana.
So that's the spirit that Donnie Gerber is bringing to Wellington. Nate's bringing a different kind of spirit to Wellington. There is so much that screams green. And for those who don't know, the Wellington Lions play in Springbok green as well. So we think of Wellington for the Hurricanes in Super Rugby, but the domestic team, the Wellington Lions, they are pure green. They're like us, green and gold, Boks by 10. Love the shirt. Thanks. Thanks, Macron.
One thing that does count in the Boks' favor, I think, I haven't done the numbers on this, but the ref is Nika Amashukeli from Georgia. We love Nika. What a great ref, mate. And I think that definitely, sort of creates the parity that you need for a good chance to win away from home against the All Blacks.
Well, let me tell you, that guy has no issue penalising the All Blacks in the 79th minute and giving a penalty if he feels it's due to the opposition and watching the All Blacks lose in New Zealand. He's been at the whistle for a few of those big shocks.
Nice.
I think it was Argentina. I certainly know the first time Argentina beat them, he was in charge. I think he was in charge for one of the Irish test matches. So he has no skaamte.
Lekker.
He's not going to be jumping up and running,
Let's
jumping
go.
into Artie's arms, mate.
No 45-second
Carl
rucks.
Dixon. 92,000 people went in to SA Rugby Magazine's poll, and 90% of them said, Carl Dixon, pack away your whistle, mate. But he's got a great plot in New Zealand now.
He's got
Waiheke Island, said Shimmy.
Frodo Baggins home.
Yeah, in Waiheke Island. I've loved all the podcasts that have been going. Everyone's got a podcast now.
Yeah.
And I watch them all. So, but Shimmy's been great overseas with
Yeah.
Matt Pierce with Supersport. You can catch them, channel 211. And we're going to be partnering with Supersport as well in terms of cross-pollinating the game and promoting the game, the love of the game, and promoting Springbok rugby, South African rugby this season. And then just seeing the Kiwis, and I mean, they've been so respectful as well. Their podcasters, they've applauded the Boks for the fight back. They've said they're going to come with a backlash, a bocklash. So it's something very special, something very different when the All Blacks play the Springboks. Even in those days when we were getting pumped, when I was with the team, you just knew you're getting on a plane. You might as well. There was still that reverence and the kind of aura about the green and gold jersey. So that is definitely back, and that's why I think it will be a Bok win, and we will end the series 1-1 and take something from it with a youthful team, with a strong scrum. Jasper Wiese back at 8. That's going to be big. I think the line-out, Malcolm Marx, spoke a lot this week. He doesn't normally speak. He said he's got to look at his own game, his own performance, and he'll get it right. And he gets it right. Lurt being in there, he calls the lineouts. The noise factor won't be what it was at Eden Park. And interesting comments coming out of the All Black camp. There's no way they said they can lift the emotions to the level they got to last week, given the 50-test match unbeaten streak, Ardie Severe's 100th, playing the world champions, the team that had beaten them 12-11 in the last World Cup final. It's just no way they can replicate that because it's not at Eden Park. Ardie Severe has played the 100th, and that game is gone. And I am expecting a passionate All Black side, but not riding on that wave of emotion. And I think, I certainly underestimated just how powerful that record is and how powerful Eden Park is. But that's not Westpac now Sky Stadium. Very different. Those Oaks lose there. I think they won 4 out of their last 9 there. And one of them was against a French third team. So I'm telling you, Zels,
I hope you're right, mate.
as Marquis would say, we've come to play.
I like that.
We've come to play,
That.
and we're going to win. And I know you need to tell us about some Steco winners as well.
Yeah, before we do the Steco winners, I really do hope that you're right on that because it would signal a great changing of the guard in one respect, but also a first step in a new direction on the back of a epic victory. If these youngsters can come in on a week's notice, regardless of whether they've known for 2 months they're playing this game, the reality is they haven't been playing. If they can come in out of the cold and turn it around and record a big win against the All Blacks in New Zealand, that'd be a great start to the journey to the next World Cup. It'd be a great sort of kickoff point, launch point. So I very much hope that you're right and the Boks do win this one. On to the Steco stuff, mate. We've got 2 winners of the Steco prizes, mate. Our first one is Nathaniel Adams, who's won a 1,400-watt Steco high-pressure washer worth $1,550. Congratulations, Nathaniel. I hope you use that wisely, mate. And then we've got JD Peterson, 13, and Pietri Jacobs, 98. You have each won a Steco PS600 portable power station valued at almost 8,000 Rand, guys. Power to you from Steco.
Mate, the way you read that out was like watching the Bok line out this season. I was as impressed but as bemused at the quality of what you did, but I didn't know what you were talking about half the time, man. And when Phil Kuhn says when they start the disco dancing, there's problems in the lineup. And as the Kiwi said, there was a lot of dancing in that Bok lineout. Okay, so congratulations to the Steco winners. Can we fix our lineout? Victor Matfield's had a lot to say, and he is the most insightful guy when it comes to lineouts, comes to Bok lineouts. And his thing also is to back the full lineout, to win the ball first,
Yeah.
and then to play from there.
Yeah.
And also to contest. He says you've got to put pressure on the on the jumper. You can't give them a free throw. And he said, but also acknowledge that New Zealand are among the great disruptors of the lineout, and they are a very, very intelligent side. And they brought in the big guns. They brought in Wayne Smith, the prof, who's I mean, he's iconic in New Zealand rugby. He's Mr. Fix-It. And this week, they got him to jog in, the mighty McCaw. He's been with the All Blacks this week. He played the Springboks 26 times and he won 20.
Kiss of death, mate.
Hey?
Kiss of death.
Some of the All Blacks had never met him, the youngsters. It's the first time they've ever met him.
Oh, I'm starting to lean green, mate.
They... I knew I'd get him. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. They bought in the mighty Macau.
Rookie era. Rookie era, mate. Oh, that's not good.
He's like the equivalent of Brittany Madiba.
Exactly.
For them, eh?
Everybody's looking at Richie. Nobody's thinking about what's happening on the weekend, mate.
So I think it also shows the seriousness and the intensity with which they have taken these two test matches. These are big test matches for Razor Robertson, who seemed as shocked as anyone when he was told on Monday Rassie's announced the team.
I love that, mate.
When? Today? Tonight. Tonight.
It looks like a guy just won the lottery. Me?
So, yeah, I mean, just so much going on over there
Yeah.
in Wellington. And he's sold out, huh? Back-to-back test matches sold out against the Springboks, Eden Park, and they've had to put in temporary seats at the Sky Stadium in Wellington. And that says as much
About the South African community in Wellington.
the South African community, but the pulling power of a world champion
No, big
Springboks.
time.
And then also that while the game was not what we thought it would be in Auckland, the weather wasn't great and that, but the intensity of the battle in that last 15 minutes has everyone at the edge of their seats thinking it's going to be as intense, it's going to be as hectic this weekend when they go again, the two giants. And that's what I love about a best of three or a back-to-back. These one-off hits, you can get a bit fortunate on the day and then you've got to wait a year
Yeah.
or even 2 years to go back to that place. Here after two tests, kind of the team that walks away, if it's 1-1, that's what it is. If it's 2-0, you take it on the chin and you say, we weren't good enough.
Yeah.
When I put it all together in Auckland, all emotion removed, we just weren't good enough. Referee was awful, but he wasn't the reason we lost. But my goodness, he certainly helped. He certainly gave it a good tonk. Finally, an Englishman that loves the All Blacks.
Indeed.
May it end now.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, we have to put that one behind us. We've kind of gone into that, I suppose. Big fan of the show, the guy who runs the Biltong Ring that he famously gave me. He traveled all the way from New York City to be there in Auckland for that reverse, but he said it was a great occasion. He enjoyed it muchly. So I don't think he's hanging around for this one at Wellington, but maybe he should have stuck around because it seems like the Boks are in the mix, mate.
But then also, like, I don't think my inbox has been as busy. My DMs, the comments of just so many people who've been in Auckland, who are going to be in Wellington, South African supporters, Kiwi supporters who just love the rivalry. It is really, really special. Nothing like that. You can't replicate that in this country.
Yeah.
7 World Cup titles between the two teams. There's only been 10 World Cups and we didn't play in 2 of them. Ireland still want to get past the quarterfinal. France,
Final four,
France can't get past the final. So that is the quality that's out there. And you know, we spoke about that 23 that played at Eden Park, the greats of our game, Eben, Sia, Polly, Jesse, Dialandi, just wonderful players. They'll go down as some of the greatest who played in their positions. And they, outside of Sia, the rest are all sitting in the stands. And this is a kind of, over to you, young guns. Let's see what you've got to do. And I think Rassie leaves this tour pretty clear in his head where each one sits when it comes to who's going to be playing in the greatest rivalry tour, which is next year in South Africa, All Blacks against the Boks, 3 tests in, and I've heard a 4th one in London. And we go back there in 2030 and we play their 5 Super Rugby teams.
Right.
Play 3 tests, potentially play the Maori All Blacks and another one potentially in the States. So for the next kind of cycle, it's going to be Bokke, All Blacks, Bokke. So interesting quote that Rassie said and reminded me of Steve Hansen before the 2015 World Cup when he said, you've got to pick players and play them in the toughest environment to see how they come through.
Yeah.
And you've got to do it quickly. So if you're speaking about a guy like Nathan Yonker, well, he's starting against the All Blacks in New Zealand where we won 4 out of 29 historically. He comes through that game, he can play in a World Cup final. So when they came here in 2015, Dan Carter had been having a lot of injury problems. He was in the All Black side, criticized for his game. They said he was basically finished, and they didn't bring him to South Africa. I think he went and played a club game. They picked Lima Superhaga, and he was outstanding at Ellis Park. They won 27-20. The mighty McCaw got a try from a very tricky line out, and he was very good. And the next week they had to play the Wallabies at Eden Park, and they rested him out of the match 23, and they picked Carter. And they said to Carter, this is your day. You either show us you go to the World Cup or you don't. Carter was outstanding. So they said, we're taking Carter. If Carter gets injured, Superhaga gets flown in and he starts. Beauden Barrett will not start. He'll stay on the bench. They were very clear about the swap and that. So I see a lot of that thinking in Rassie, that if Buland is injured, we know that Willemse then can do the job. Andre's always going to be that backup player who comes in and adds some grunt. But that's what I love about what they've done with Ethan Hooker now. And we were calling it the whole season, are they keeping him back? Are they keeping him back for the All Blacks? But then I thought he would start at Eden Park and start this test match. So I think there is signs to the Ethan Hooker kind of selection, and maybe they felt they needed to work with him for 3 months within the context of the Boks backs and that kind of thing. Looking at your favorite player, Jasper Wiese at 8, how much have we missed that physicality?
Oh, we missed it. We missed it big time. I mean, the Boks haven't bossed the contact like they are used to doing, like they traditionally do. I don't know what the weighting is between the personnel and the plan in terms of responsibility for that, but I think he definitely brings stability at the base of the scrum, brings stability as a ball carrier, and is an oak who is unforgiving in the tight loose. So I think he's a massive value add there in terms of the investment that they have made in him over the last couple of seasons. I do think the Boks need to establish a backup number 8 that isn't Kwagga and isn't Sia, a guy who does what Jasper does. It looked like Kobus Wiese was going to be that guy, but then he hasn't been around. And for whatever reason, Evan Roos isn't in the mix there. And obviously, Cam Hanekom's been injured, and so is Ulrich Loh. But that's a thing that the Boks will want to tick. Like, if Jasper's not available for extended period of time, what is the solution there? Not a plaster, a real solution. A guy who's going to push Jasper for that 8 jersey. So we do need to solve that in the long term. But for this week, it's a great boost to the squad, a great reinforcement. And the combination of him, Peter Steff, and Sia, at least on paper, is dynamic and potent.
Well, I mean, all the talk about the Boks match 23, what happened at Eden Park, and you've been part of that talk. And on the SA Rugby magazine Facebook page, on the Insta account, on the Keo Zels WhatsApp channels, continue to be part of that. It's brought to you by Auto and General Insurance, with readiness for all life's tackles. And Auto and General supporting us. They're giving away test match tickets to watch the Boks play the Pumas. They're giving away Boks jerseys. All you've got to do is you've just got to go onto their Instagram page. You've got to go onto their Facebook page and just give it a like, and you're in the draw, and you can win those wonderful, wonderful prizes. And you can be part of what we do every weekend. It's the SA Rugby powered by Auto and General MVP player. And as you said, Zels, geez, what was the response last weekend?
Massive. 100,000 people, everybody in there voting on the MVP, voting on the ref. Lots and lots.
Yeah, so there's incredible banter there. And really, I mean, the hard work you got to do to get the potential of winning a Boks jersey and winning test tickets to the Durban test is just to like a page, to follow it. I mean, that's not really that hard if you are such an ardent Boks supporter. But you said 100,000 views. We kind of, our clip that just spoke a bit about the side, got 100,000 views on Facebook alone. I think it was a 90-second clip. Die mense is mal vir die bokke.
They are.
Die mense wil net bok rugby praat.
Correct.
Nou hulle is bokba, you know what they say.
Exactly.
Hey? So, Auto in General, thanks again for your support. And the segment is powered by Auto in General, backing champions since 1985. Insurance that's never not there, licensed non-life insurer, and FSP, T's and C's online. Stay with us online. Go online with Castle Lager, the biggest braai. You think Boks, you think braai, you think beer. 24th of September, we're going to build the biggest braai. And you just got to go on. It's again on all our socials, and you just got to register to be a part of that. Nothing more. click on that link and register to be a part of it. And we can have another world record. We are the sheep shearing champions, world champions. We're the rugby world champions. We're the under 20 rugby world champions. We're the sevens world champions. It's inconceivable that the Boks and South Africa are not the Braai world champions.
We invented it.
We invented the Braai,
Come on.
okay? So if Castle Lager is the beer that stood the test of time, our Braai must stand the test of time. Just like the Boks. On Saturday, they will. It's going to be Boks by 10. Watch out for us on the socials. Zels is not convinced, but baby, I am.